killing wastes in red. We have the Protoss players. Starting for Team NS Hosa, it is...
NS Hosa Tassadar.
No, that's wrong, Ken. We have to do that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he messed that one up last time.
Yeah, he's a little bit slow with the Tassadar there, but still, it's Tassadar, of course, and he is up against the Terran player for Team StarTale. Introducing to the bottom right in blue.
StarTale. Sound.
Not much ways to mess that one up.
Yeah, there we go. Good boy, Ken. Good boy.
Pretty clear. We'll see what build he wants to show. This is a 2-player map. There's a lot of different ways to scout as a Terran on this map. Oftentimes you'll see a Terran take just the one Reaper to get some information.
Oh yeah, those Reaper openings, they are something that a lot of Terrans rely on these days. In this particular situation so far, we don't have gas being taken, so if he really wants to open up with the Reaper, he has to take in a few seconds, but it doesn't really look like it just yet. But in general, Terran players really love to open with the Reaper, not only against like a Protoss player, but also against Zerg. You want to know what's going on to your opponent's face, and the Reaper is the perfect tool.
Yeah. And speaking of information, he actually gets a gas late. He needs to make that depot first, so he delays the gas by getting the depot. This means the probe, when he sees this, he doesn't know if there's gas or not, but oftentimes as a Protoss, you will assume when you see that depot, he's probably doing a 1-Rax expand, but the gas is just going to be a little bit delayed here.
Yeah, and as you already said, therefore he has the minerals early on to get the second depot, so the probe is not able to get in the main base. Scouting information already denied, quite important here. Starts things off with this Marine right now. And at this point, Tassadar doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah, he's a little bit in the dark. He does have second gas up, and this is going to give him the ability to make a sentry if he wants to get that hallucination scout, or go for a faster robo. 2 and 2 gas, a very safe standard opening by Tassadar.
Yeah. This is what we usually see from players trying to go for this 2 probe in gas. Something that Nanima and Sasa have been doing for quite a while when they first came to Korea. And then a lot of players have been emulating this. Now going into the reactor and then starting with the factory, an opening that we've seen quite often also where players use like MVP.
Yeah. And this is really smart.
Into command center.
Yeah, he goes for the CC or expand with the reactor. And as actually, if I'm not mistaken, pulled out one of the SCVs from gas. We don't actually have an observing computer today, but it looks like it's going up a little bit slower. And this is, anyways, able to get a command center up a little bit faster with this. He starts the factory afterwards, and this has a lot of flexibility to it. The one thing that it hurts you a little bit on is that you get stim very late. But, you know, there's a lot of different possibilities with what he wants to do with the factory. It could be he gets some Widow Mines out for defense. He could just go straight into a starport and get fast drops. Lots of different opportunities.
Yeah, we have now the Mothership Core, of course, very early in the game for Protoss play here. Gives him a lot of safety, especially against drop play. Something that you can do here.
And the earlier you have it out, the faster you build up that energy, so you can use it for several different things. The time warp ability, the photon overcharge, whichever one becomes appropriate. And it's oftentimes really good to have that out before your robo, just simply because it's such a great defensive unit and offensive.
Yeah, and you have to wait a little bit until you have the energy available so that you can actually use the upgrade. Widow Mine here for our Terran, the StarTale player starting with the Widow Mine, and it's such an important tool. When the Protoss opens up with a Stargate and sends an Oracle into your main base and you don't have a Widow Mine, things really can get out of hand. It's such a great weapon against your SCVs and also, of course, against Marines, but a Widow Mine, that's all that you need to do, all you need to build in order to take it out.
Yeah, and another possible option that we could see here, well, he wants to scout first. We'll see the Nexus finish. He wants to come up here and see how many sentries there are. And seeing just these 2 units alone, okay, does see the 3rd Stalker and the Robo, so now he knows, okay, no such Oracles will be coming. He may go for a Widow Mine drop. Yeah, he even scans.
He actually may do that, and it's such... Widow Mines have been deciding most of the games that we have actually seen in at the last weekend. Like, twice Widow Mines took down more than 10 Harvesters, and this really brings you a huge advantage in the early game. So now pushing out with the Marines and the Widow Mine, again, quite a bit with this, but he has to be careful. Nice micro so far.
Losing half of his hit points on his Widow Mine, not ideal, but it survives, and that's all that matters. He needs to burrow it, he does. Oh, it gets destroyed, but the Stalker's had to waste a lot of DPS. He uses the Photon Overcharge, and this aggression is essentially over. There's not much he can do against that firepower.
That was really well defended by Tassadar. Taking out the Widow Mine was so important in this situation, and then he uses the Photon Overcharge, repels the aggression. Sound has to move back. is on 2 bases right now and is also going straight into a double barracks. He wants to make sure that he has the bio forces available if there's a push out, but he's not done with the aggression just yet.
Yeah, he wants to send a second drop over. I really have to hand it to Tassadar. That was a great defense. He focuses the Widow Mine. Just simply because he knows that's the biggest threat. The Marines are not going to be an issue with the photon overcharge. The drop is spotted, and this is terrible for Sound.
Exactly, the drop is spotted, and this is definitely something that is going to play in the hands of our Protoss player, who has a second observer now, just in case there is going to be a Widow Mine drop. He also has the Stalkers just ready, so he can react in time, and here we go. He sees what's going on, and Sound moves back. Boosts out there with the afterburners. He knows that taking this risk would be a bit too much.
Yeah, this is just really safe play by Tassadar overall. Not really putting on any aggression, just defending, trying to get his Colossus tech out now, which is something that Sound has not yet seen.
He's playing a bit defensive here, and you kind of have to do this at this stage in Heart of the Swarm. So we have still the Medivac trying to find an opening here, and he might have actually spotted one at the natural.
Yeah, he's just going to save that boost. Notice he doesn't use it aggressively to come in. He's only going to use it to retreat. As soon as the Stalkers show up, he's just going to boost out.
Yeah, he takes down 3, 4 Harvesters. Well done. Tries to maybe even pick off one of the Zealots, but now he needs to back off here. 1 Marine gets left behind. This is not Ohana.
No, certainly not. I really like that he waited such a long time before using the boost. He knows it's better to use it retreating-wise, because getting in there, he already got in. He doesn't have to boost early. Just such patience there.
He saw the Widow Mine, but he just doesn't take it out yet. And there's one thing that you always have to be very careful about. The Widow Mine has a range of 5, a Stalker has a range of 6, so usually you should be able to take it out. But sometimes the pathing bugs a little bit, and then your Stalker just gets into range. So you have to be very careful with that. And as you can see, the Widow Mine doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, you know, if you have 5 or 6 Stalkers so that all of them can fire, they'll continue to inch forward, and that gets you into the range sometimes. The Widow Mine will one-shot a Stalker, so you got to be very careful about that, like Keller said. Upgrade-wise in this game, we have Sound a little bit ahead, but with Chrono Boost and the Double Forge, that gap will be closed quite quickly by Tassadar.
Yep, +1/+1 is on its way. On the other hand, we have Combat Shield now done and Stim also being researched. A lot of gateways coming in, and with the pylon to the right side, he has the perfect tool to put aggression on the 3rd base that Sound is just now trying to establish.
Yeah, it's really important that he scouts it though. You know, if he doesn't see it, then he won't be able to use this opportunity.
One of the problems that Sound really has is that in regards to the upgrades, he only has 1 engineering bay, so the Double Forge will over time definitely give him a huge problem to deal with.
Yeah, he doesn't have a second one on the way, nor an armory just yet, whereas the Twilight Council is already on the way here.
You can really see the style that is being played by Tassadar, just trying to sit tight on 2 bases, get an advantage, and hit with those upgrades. He doesn't even try to take a 3rd base at this point, but he has the forward pylon, and so he can pressure the one of Sound.
Exactly. That forward pylon is actually just another card in his hand he can use at any time. Stim goes down here. Only 1 Colossus. He has to micro it.
He needs to move back here. He loses it. He loses the Colossus.
Oh, that was not very well done, but 3 Zealots warping in here. The Medivac healing power maybe too much. Nexus Cannon, though, does go down.
Photon Overcharge doing quite a lot here, but there are way too many Marines. They're moving in, and of course those extra Marauders, they deal with the Stalkers immediately. Those Zealots, they don't have charge yet, and this is a huge problem for Tassadar.
Sound sees an opportunity, stims in and goes for it. Only 1 Colossus. It's targeted down, and this may be game ending. The damage output here is just too much. As long as he gets away from that Nexus, he should be able to boost away.
A great stutter step, and this 1 Colossus that he lost, that was definitely the nail in the coffin. Tassadar's trying to hold on to this game, but Sound is on a roll.
Yeah, you know, he only got 5 Marauders and a Marine, but if you have that much firepower, your opponent's warpins are not going to be a problem. You just have to stay away from that Nexus.
The Mothership Core alone won't be able to deal with this. The reinforcements are already moving and taking down Harvesters.
And the cannon is over. He doesn't have any more ability to use it. His Nexus is done.
Here comes one of the Colossi, though. The second one is out now. Maybe he can pull this off for now.
He's kiting away here down the ramp, and it looks like he's out of energy on the Medivacs. He's going to wait a little bit longer, but now there's no anti-air. The sentries are not enough here.
The sentries are definitely not going to be enough. There are too many Marauders, and they deal with them immediately. Now stimming in once again, and bam!
Bam, now kiting away at the Zealots. The Medivacs starting to get a little bit more energy, and this is just one wave. He's sending more and more units across, and it's just too efficient of a trade.
He's on 3 bases already. He has 3 mining bases, and he is still not letting off at the aggression. He's nearly 30 supply ahead, moving in again with those Marauders, with those Marines.
Mothership Core is down. The Zealots trying to come in here. He's kiting them really, really well.
He's doing a lot of damage here, and Tassadar is just trying to hold on for dear life. He gets another Colossus out there, and he's able to repel this aggression for now, but he he was taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, you know, you never want to be behind in Harvesters as a Frost.
Oh, yeah.
That Chrono Boost, it's 56 to 52 right now.
You're so right, Wolf. This is definitely not a good position for him to be in. It's not only the fact that he's behind in Harvesters, he is behind in bases, he doesn't have the mules.
His army is weak.
Yeah. Tassadar is in a bad spot.
He really is. The only upgrade, or the only advantage he had was his upgrades, but that's going to be thinned out here pretty soon with the second eBay and the armory coming up. And upgrades alone can't get you back into a game when your army is this small. He can't attack. All he can do is hope to defend on a worse economy.
He has a really, really good scouting here, though, with all those observers that he has scattered across the map. But is it going to be enough? The army is thinned out, as we said, Wolf. So now suddenly this job is possible in the main base. And can he deal with it?
It looks like he's going to pick off 3 Zealots at the very least. May try to go for the Colossus, but no. Decides to get out of here, losing almost nothing. Yeah, look at that.
And he still has units rallied across the map. Now we have Charge on the way, though. A few Zealots with his warp in to the right side. The pylon that we pointed out earlier, they are doing a bit of damage and at least try to pressure the third. But is it really going to be enough to come back into this game?
Yeah, nice feedbacks. That was huge. That was the second attack, though, coming in. And naturally, he needs to be at 2 places at once.
Yeah. The Terran play here tries to go for a multi-prong attack, but definitely a big problem were those feedbacks. They kind of took the energy, the power out of this aggression.
Yeah, and +2 armor is getting pretty close to being done for Tassadar. This is going to give him a pretty big upgrade lead with Charge. All he needs is the third base, and then he can maybe try to claw his way back into this game. He's down 40 supply. I just don't know if he can survive this aggression.
Yeah, the army size is just enormous for Sound now, and he's moving in. He's trying to make sure that the Colossus is taken out immediately by the Vikings.
The Zealot's charging in here. He has a surround for only a moment.
The stutter step is good, and now all those bio units walking up the ramp once again, trying to go for victory.
Medevac's falling here, but it just doesn't matter. There's way too much DPS. 50 supply lead here, and I think that this may be the end for NS Hosa's first player.
He's trying what he can. He's warping in additional units. Storm is not done just yet, and the armor upgrade is not finished either.
Doesn't finish. The Stalkers, though, are finished. So was that last Archon. Even though this army's low on hit points, it's too much.
GG.